Like, several of the children drowned in a nearby creek and one was murdered.
Oh my
And a few of
god.
them hung themselves in the attic. Didn't know all that.
What an active farmhouse that was. Welcome back to Midnight Oil. I am Tab, joined by Keeg right over there. And on this podcast we discuss your explained okay, hold on. Hold on. I had a whole thing before we started stream and it's been stewing in my brain, but we've
Wait,
talked so much after that.
take two.
Welcome back to Midnight Oil. I am your co-host Tab, joined by the other co-host Keegan, and on this podcast we discussed your unexplained stories. So you can submit us a story that you have and we'll read it and we talk about it and we discuss it. So if you have a story, there should be a link on wherever you're listening, wherever you're at, that you can click and shoot us a story. Let's get into it. It looks like we do have one story today. And Keeg, would you like to read that?
I would like to read that. We
Please.
are going to. Is it this one? That's highlighted?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take
So, this was sent to us by one of the amazing Twitch viewers. Guys, you can also catch us live every Sunday on twitch.tv/Midnight Oil Entertainment. And there's also, like Tab said, a link there to submit your stories. This was sent from Pixie Dusted. Back in the early 2000s, our family enjoyed visiting state parks and nature preserves. One year in early summer, we loaded up the car with a cooler in the back seat full of drinks, snacks, and sandwiches for a quick road trip to a large nature preserve. We went the day hiking through the forest exploring nature. During our walk, we came upon a small creek running through the forest just a few inches deep. The creek bed was lined with an assortment of small rocks and pebbles. Our child, about 3 years old at the time, loved collecting rocks. Me too. Super based hobby as a child, and I still do it today. So, quite a bit of time was spent sifting through the creek as they meticulously chose a few interesting rocks to take home and add to their collection. With their treasure safely tucked away in their pockets, me too, we continued our hike heading back towards our car. Guys, dude, the amount of times my parents emptied my pockets and just found that they were full of rocks, it's so funny.
Dude.
Sorry. Oh man. Uh, as we continued through the forest, they noticed that they had dropped their rocks. We searched for a while to no avail. The unique rocks they had chosen were nowhere to be found. Heartbroken with tears streaming down their tiny cherubic face? Am
Cherubic.
I say
Cherubic.
cherubic?
Like an
Sorry.
angel.
Oh, that's so sad. They consented to defeat and agreed that we should just continue onward. We arrived at the car and decided to have a snack from the cooler to cheer us up. Our child climbed into the car seat, and settled in, waiting patiently for their snack. I pulled the cooler across the back seat to open it, and it was empty. No, I'm sure. And our child began giggling with excitement. This is so cute. As I looked over the open cooler lid to see what had lifted their mood, I noticed the rocks pressed into the seat in the area that was just moments ago covered by the cooler. Mommy, they came back to me. They found me, our child gleefully exclaimed. To this day, we still don't know how those rocks got there, and this wasn't the first time that rocks magically found our child. Lucky. We found new rocks in their bed stashed under couch pillows, even in the refrigerator from time to time. And any time they were asked where the rocks came from, the answer was always the same. They just found me. How about
So,
that?
if I'm not mistaken, so that was submitted by my mom. For anybody that does not know,
My mom. Sorry.
that's that's kind of what I was going for. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that story was about me. I
That
think it
sounds very
was.
you pilled.
Yeah, I was a collector of sorts. Had bugs in my pocket as well. Uh, quite often I liked
Bugs?
bugs.
Like whole bugs?
I think so. I heard stories about bugs in my overall pocket. I used to wear overalls a lot. But yeah, something that's really interesting about that story is that like I still have instances like that where things just not necessarily like appear, but they appear.
Like things that you misplaced reappear? Or just
In a
things that
sense,
you enjoy just kind of appear?
oh my god, my mom is exposing me in chat right now. She just said you also used to stash M&Ms in your diaper to save for later. Clean diaper, I'd hope. Please don't say
That
dirty.
wasn't specified. It just says diaper.
Please don't say dirty.
It might have looked dirty after those M&Ms were sitting there and looked like little shit
I
stains.
mean, had multicolored skin from the
Oh,
M&M and the sweat. But
dude,
no,
no,
yeah.
okay.
That's a little. So, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that's like a little tip of a Fae story of the Fae. And if you guys don't know what
Mm,
the Fae is, it's kind of like a. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I think it belongs to certain beliefs of little fairies, kinda. It doesn't have to necessarily be fairies. It's kind of. There's rules with the Fae. You don't say thank you to the Fae because they can swipe things and misplace things, and if they return something for you, maybe you I want to say I'm not very educated on the Fae anymore, but I think you can leave little gifts for the Fae, but you're not supposed to thank the Fae, because if you thank the Fae, then they'll keep doing things. Yeah,
hmm.
don't fuck with the Fae ever. Exactly is what Bone Dragon 5077 just said.
So shout out Faye, but don't thank them?
I think so.
Okay.
Fae. Fae lore. Let's get into some Fae lore.
Before the Fae lore, I want to talk about one little thing from my childhood because that story is awesome. Mine, I'm gonna do the short version, but there's a long version. When I was younger, I had a two-tier bed. What is it called? Bunk bed. I had one of those, but nobody else was in my room. I had my own room growing up. I was super spoiled. As far as like my room went, and it had a slide on it. And one day, my intelligent ass thought that it was a good idea and that it would help to put peanut butter all over my slide, and I would go faster. So I smeared peanut butter all over my slide, and I went slower, and then I don't know what compelled me to do it. I was so young, but I put peanut butter all over the walls of my room. I was unsupervised a lot as a child, and there was so much peanut butter. It was in the carpet. It was in the walls, on the walls, on the bed, on the slide. I remember very clearly that my mom came up and fucking flipped her lid. Because at first glance, it looked like I shit my pants and put it all over the walls and my bed and the carpet. So she thought that I shit all over the place. Reluctantly, it was not shit. It was, in fact, peanut butter. I'm not sure that that made it better, but I think she felt better that it wasn't shit. So that's good.
Which is
They,
valid.
I mean, I still had food in my room ever since then.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I was super. unsupervised and neglected as a child. I won't get into that right
Or
now,
drop,
but
I guess.
I literally, dude, I so much just alone time. I'm glad that I had a brother. But yeah, that's my I man, they were so pissed off.
I bet.
Yeah, I don't even know where we got that much or how I obtained the peanut butter. I really don't know cuz like I said, I was very small.
There is picture
So,
proof. I think I have seen the picture.
oh my god, you've seen the picture. Yeah. Dude,
Mm-hmm.
I there's picture proof of the room and me absolutely fucking lathered in peanut butter. Like, I mean, like I it looks like I came out of the womb, but the womb was full of peanut butter.
That shit's crazy. I think that's kind of funny though. Let me dive into the Fey folklore though. Back into the the mix. So the Fae are like supernatural, beings from folklore. The Fae, also known as fairies, Fae folk, or the fair folk, and they're rooted in European, particularly Celtic and Irish folklore. They're often described as ethereal, otherworldly spirits that can manifest in both physical and spiritual forms. One thing that I actually do know, like off the dome, about Fae is, have you ever seen like a little circle of mushrooms, like
Mhm.
just like in the woods or something? It's like that's like a Fae circle, and you're not supposed to step in it. But it also could mean that there's a body buried there. So,
Oh, is it just because of like how the body decomposes or whatever?
like fungus and shit to be.
That's so
Oh
cool.
god,
Mushrooms are so cool.
dude, I want to talk about mushrooms so bad, but I know that that would get us into a goddamn circle pit.
Rabbit hole.
I
Yeah.
watched. Okay, if it still exists, it was on Netflix. It was something. It was a documentary that was just about mushrooms. So cool. It was so cool. I watched it back when I had like a projector, so I projected it over my whole wall. Fire, fire way to watch it. But anyways, back into the Fae. So in Irish mythology, the Fae are believed to descend from woo, to Tultha de Danann. Yep. Which is an ancient race of deities and heroes who retreated into the earth after being defeated by humans, becoming ooh, guys, the Sidhi, sure, or people of the mounds. We know a good few things about mounds, you guys. But over time, they were woven into folklore as guardians of nature, keepers of ancient secrets, and participants in magical rituals. So basically, there's a few reasons, because I looked up why you shouldn't thank the Fae, because I was kind of curious, because I forgot. It's been a while since I've done my research on Fae. But it's because it can imply an obligation, or imply that they are there to serve you, which is not the case. So saying thank you can be seen as disrespectful, as it suggests you owe them something in return. And that's why instead you should give them like gifts or acknowledge their kindness, in terms of,
Low
other
key, you
things.
should probably just not accept the gift because then in
It's
turn,
that is something that is kind of recommended, that you don't accept the gifts. You don't interact at all. It's very common for people to just say don't interact with the Fae at all, because you can get in sticky situations with them. But they do return lost items, but they also swipe items and hide them from you.
yeah, swipe or no swiping, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very much that. Exactly. Don't fuck with the Fae.
Yeah,
Heed thy
absolutely
advice.
do
Don't
not.
mess with the Fae. Unless you want to get goofy goobered. There's a few things that I simply will never fuck with. One of them is an
Mm.
Ouija board. You will
No?
never see me using a Ouija board. Not even
You
for
might
the
see me
bit.
use one.
Yeah, no, I simply won't. I mean, granted, like with the amount of like protection that I'd be having, dude. I was thinking about it the other day. Whenever we go do like our investigations in the future for like these haunted places, I just want you to know that I am going to have a uh like an oil
Midnight oil?
midnight oil. No, no, like an oil like perfume thing. You know, like with the oil thing where you like it's a roller ball in like a tube, but it's a roller ball that you a
Oh
roller
yeah.
ball perfume basically, but it's a roller ball
Okay.
oil, and I will be drawing protection things on us before we go in.
Sick.
Just so you know. Just
What if
so
I
you're
don't want
aware.
to be protected?
I won't
Okay.
because like regardless, regardless,
What if they won't be able to interact with us though?
I'm gonna be boxed up. I think they still will. I'm not gonna
Okay.
completely block them. I don't think. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'll be honest. I'll be real with you.
I am super excited for those. We were actually just talking about it the other day. I'm not gonna get into it though, but I'm very excited.
Pacey just said
But
Key is looking for that possession, and it reminded me of how almost every episode of
okay,
Ghost Adventures, Zach Baggins, he gets possessed and like flips out on his crew.
I would love to get that on camera if it were to happen.
A possession.
Yeah,
It's
because
real possessions are scary, like really
I
scary.
I, I genuinely so I think I believe in ghosts. I'm pretty sure. If I don't, I'm sure that I could just watch a couple videos and convince myself fully. There's like a 5% chance, like 5% of me, I think, is like skeptical. But I mean, whether it's just something unexplainable or ghosts or whatever it may be, there's an energy that just kind of exists in the universe that is like tripping out, like makes us trip out.
Yeah,
Yeah, let Key get possessed and then do an exorcism on this show is insane.
I'll have to call the Vatican.
We hired an exorcist.
No. What if we go like study to be exorcists, and then because I don't want to be possessed, because I think I will die. But
You
you can
won't
go get
die.
possessed. People can
I
die
I
from
don't think I've
possession.
ever read a story of death from a possession.
You don't read enough possession stories, then. You get like malnourished because you don't eat.
Well, then fucking have better friends. I don't know.
I mean, and some okay, I will say some of it is on like The Exorcist, especially because there was one that I heard about. I can't remember who, what, when, where, why, but there was one that I heard about that quite literally died because of like the exorcism because you're like chained up or some shit and you look really bad. Emily Rose. It
Physical
could be that
abuse
one,
in
yeah.
2005. A nun in Romania died after being bound to a cross and left without food or water during. That doesn't count. That someone left them there
To die. Yeah.
being bound. That doesn't count.
The
If
first
that was not
exorcism ever recorded was in Germany. And I heard that audio and it was horrifying.
a
And she did
14-year-old
die.
boy in England was beaten and drowned in 2010 by relatives attempting to remove an evil spirit. Again, that's not. You didn't have to drown the kid. I don't agree with that. So there's many other ways that you could probably deal with it. Accusations of possession, particularly against children, have resulted in fatal faith-based child abuse. That makes sense, but I don't know. I don't know. Psychogenic death. In some cultures, belief in voodoo death suggests that individuals convinced they are doomed or possessed can suffer fatal physiological responses to extreme fear. So it sounds like the deaths that are reported, I wouldn't necessarily it's because of the possession. I think it's more so the way that they were handled. Because at the end of the day, if it really is that bad, you can sedate somebody and then IV them. Like we can do that. But I'm not saying that people haven't died because I'm literally looking at proof that they have.
Yeah.
So, but I think that if someone is actually possessed, we have the technology. We can sedate them, knock them out, IV drip them, wake them back up. Like there's many solutions. I think. But I couldn't imagine just no longer having, like, essentially you're just checked out mentally
Yeah.
and you can't do anything and can't control yourself. But then at that point, is that you anymore? Because you're essentially like a zombie.
You're possessed.
Yeah.
You're actually the devil.
Korean exorcisms are fun, very different from Christian exorcisms.
I,
Huh.
I
I
want to
didn't.
look into the Korean exorcisms. But I just found so the exorcism of Emily Rose is actually based on the German exorcism of Anneliese Michael.
Hmm.
And she had okay, this was insane. So she died at age 23 after 10 months of exorcisms. That's insane to me. And it started when she was 16. So this was happening in like 1968. So it was kind of like, early. But at 16 she began having seizures and blackouts. She was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy and depression. She was treated by a doctor, but the symptoms didn't stop, obviously. And she was having religious symptoms as well, so that's why they believed that she was possessed. So they started the exorcisms. She had a total of 67 exorcism sessions, and it was 1 to 2 per week, and each lasted up to 4 hours long, and they were recorded, like audio recorded, and
Um.
she spoke in different voices. She claimed to be possessed by multiple people, Lucifer, Judas, Nero, Cain, and Hitler, which is interesting. She barked, growled, bit herself, ate spiders, and coal. She refused food, believing that the demons forbade it. Ultimately, she succumbed to malnutrition and dehydration. So technically, that one wasn't necessarily the exorcism, like the act of the exorcism killing her. It was more so she died because she was possessed, because apparently the demons wouldn't let her eat food.
Hmm.
So that one wasn't, you know. I would play the audio, but it is really fucked up, and it's also in German. And it's really
Oh.
scary, and I would really not like to hear that in my headphones. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's spooky.
Maybe we'll do it another time.
Yeah,
Put a pin in.
yeah. I had it played into my ears over like really loud speakers in a really tight, confined tunnel that you can go see at the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum or whatever in Vegas. It was horrible. It was horrible, to say the least. It was really scary. That was the only part that I was super scared of. But I was also claustrophobic, so could have been that, to be fair. But speaking of exorcisms, this kind of leads us into a good segue if we still wanted to talk about that topic I discussed earlier before we started stream.
Mhm.
The pre planned topic that I had.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so speaking of exorcisms, this leads us into. I've wanted to talk about them for a while because there's a lot of stipulations surrounding them, but Ed and Lorraine Warren, well, conjuring people. I I can't say whether or not I'm a fan of like them themselves, but I am a fan of The Conjuring. Are you raising your hand?
Yes.
Would you like to speak? Go ahead.
Just at lunch today, I wait. I don't think I said his name, did I?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, either way. If I said his name, I don't know. Uh, my buddy that I went to lunch with today, his grandma's friend owns the Shining Hotel.
Oh,
Yeah.
so can we get hookups for discounts?
Uh, I'm gonna have to ask him, but that would be super sick. I just remembered we were talking about that because I was talking about the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Yeah, my grandma like has a friend that owns that place." I'm like,
Hmm, that's cool.
"Yeah, yeah." Anyway, sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
really cool. Um, but I'm just gonna like glaze over them, kind of, and we can research as we find things interesting a little bit more. I just have bullet points. So here's their early life, how it started, 1940s and 1950s. So apparently Ed grew up in a haunted house in Connecticut, and that sparked his interest in ghosts. So, contrary to popular belief, for some reason, I've met some people that think Ed was also psychic, but it was just Lorraine. Lorraine was the one that was clairvoyant from childhood. Allegedly, I'm not that kind, not to bash it, but according to the controversies, we'll get into that argument a little bit later. So Ed worked as a self-taught demonologist, and I think that's interesting because, like, what does that mean, self-taught? Can you go to like school to become a demonologist, or like, do you have to go get a license, a demonologist license to do that? But Lorraine was a trance medium slash psychic sensitive, which I do believe like people are psychic, but I don't know if Lorraine was. She might have been. Who knows? But I am a fan of the movies. She's kind of cool in the movies. She's kind of based. Are you researching demonologists?
I was looking up if you could, if there were any courses to become a demonologist, and the general consensus is no, aside from some like pretty sketchy websites
Oh, I'm gonna go
that
on
you
the
can just
dark
buy.
web and get certified
Yeah,
to be a demonologist.
yeah. There's a diploma in modern demonology for paranormal investigators that you can enroll for $36.
Not too bad.
Uh,
I'm gonna become
so
an exorcist of the Vatican, by the way.
low key, I think that it would be cool. So there's a website. Um, I you visit it at your own will. Don't probably buy any of these courses, but it's called Paralearning, and it's a bunch of online paranormal courses and qualifications. I
I feel like I
I'm
don't need those.
skeptical.
I feel like
I'm skeptical. It looks really cool, but that's probably how they get you. But it's $74 for 7 courses. So I feel like you can't really go wrong with it. And also, if you get it for a team of 5 for training for teams or organizations, it's only $188,
mm,
and you get access to all of the courses.
we
I
need
don't
to
know why I
find
wouldn't just friend it,
three
but
more people that want to be certified in the paranormal, I guess.
yeah, it says that you can do the course on your phone. You get a certificate, instant access, uh, unlimited access to the course even after you've completed your final assessment. Is this a recognized qualification? Unfortunately, due to the unknown nature of the paranormal, no qualifications in this field are academically recognized. Even if they were, they would be of little interest to prospective employers. However, we've worked hard to put together a course that's designed to help you widen your knowledge and give beginners the confidence to go out and be involved in the paranormal. I mean, it seems really cool. The website's interesting. It's called paralearning.org. and the courses seem cool. There's a diploma in modern demonology. There's a diploma in practical ghost hunting and scientific analysis. There's one for scientific theory for paranormal investigators.
I feel like I could just watch
Uh,
a YouTube video for all of that
yeah,
and
I
be
mean, I don't know.
plenty educated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's. I think it's cool though. You know, like I think it'd be cool to take an actual class. I'm sure that we could find an in-person class though, and that would be way cooler.
I mean, is that not what Ed did? He taught classes
Uh,
or something.
yeah, I think.
Unless that was just specific to the movie.
Uh,
I don't actually know. But maybe we'll learn.
I mean, I agree that a lot of the sites that I've been looking at, because we are eventually going to go do these hunts ourselves, these like ghost hunts. I don't. By the way, I don't like the word hunts. We're not hunting them. We just want to like interact with them. We're not like Ghostbusters. We're not like I'm gonna suck you up with my vacuum and you're gonna be gone forever, locked in a
I'm
room,
here to
dark room.
dispel all of the ghosts in this
Yeah, like
house.
I don't like Ghost Hunt,
I'm gonna
but
go to Waverly and cleanse the whole hospital.
but the sites. Whoa, the sites where you like can get these different tools and stuff, I think mostly are a scam. Aside from the ones where you can actually like buy the stuff, but dude, ghosts are around for a reason, man. They probably like some of them probably want to party.
Okay,
They're
wait.
definitely probably bad ghosts,
I
but
do I do have a question for the
mhm.
people that know about ghosts in the chat. So the joke that I made about cleansing Waverly, do you think that would ever be possible? To go into like a super haunted place like that with like multiple ghosts and such like a rich history? Do you think like with the right team of people they could go in and just clear it out? Just clear it out. I will spoil something that we kind of have for when we do like the on-site things. Um, specifically with the comment that says Key wants to party with the ghosts. I think it's a very rough idea because we haven't super planned anything out with those yet. But I do think that we are going to do a shot before we go in to each place and have a party with all of the ghosts in there. But it looks like we're getting a yes for clearing out such a big place like that.
I mean,
But it would
yeah, I
be a
mean,
lot of work.
if you can dispel or capture or remove or pacify or whatever you want to call it, then
Pacify.
you can do it all, probably. Um, so there's no good scientific evidence, but apparently approximately 39% of US adults believe in ghosts, which that actually sounds low. So that surprises me. And how many like what percentage of people do you think turn into ghosts?
It's probably a low number again. I'd assume.
Do you think you'll be a ghost?
I hope not. I'm gonna be
No,
honest.
you wouldn't want to be a ghost?
Nah, I'd like to pass on. I'd like to. I'd like to go on to the other realm.
Yeah, I think
Jaden
it's
said forty
definitely
percent
40%. Try like
potentially.
less than 5%.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Some studies say a tiny fraction of 0.0001% to 1%.
Fair enough. Also, I
Um,
really have to piss. I drank too much Alani. Do you want to entertain, or do you want me to put up the
I can
BRB?
entertain.
Okay.
No, I can entertain.
Okay. I'm gonna leave you guys.
Oh, people become ghosts because they have unfinished business. Yeah, I think I think it's very possible that more people turn into ghosts, but you have to think there's been 100 billion people that's ever been alive ever, and I think ultimately it depends on what your version of the afterlife kind of looks like, but some people may not have a reason to become a ghost. Like you can't like there's not a lot of fulfilling stuff you can do as a ghost aside from like haunting people and whatnot. So I think a lot of it would have to do with people just passing on and gaining that closure. But also, they can only hunt for like up to 250 years, if that. Like 250 years is a long time for a ghost to be around. So eventually they're just going to be they're going to be gone. I definitely don't think hauntings are as prominent as people think either. I so guys, here's my thing. I I I want to believe like they say in X-Files. I want to believe, but there's some things that just don't rub me the right way with ghosts because there's like it's one of those things that I need to experience it to know that it exists. And I
Oh, you
like once
froze.
I experience something, I'm like, okay, this could be real. Like I experience gravity every day, so I'm like, yeah, obviously gravity is real. I've been in a plane, so I know that the Earth is not flat, so I believe that it is round. Like I like being able to run those scientific experiments. So once we are able to, I'm very excited to see some of the stuff that might be real and some of the stuff that might be kind of fabricated, maybe for views. Because hey, Tab and I are going to keep it a buck.
Swear.
If we see something, we're going to let you know, and if we don't see something, we're going to let you know.
Oh, if I see
That's
something,
how it's
it's
going
gonna
to be.
be, and I'm gonna run away. Because I'm a pussy ass bitch. Like,
And I'll probably just stand there. I don't know. I don't know how I'll react because it's also
I'd be
possible that
scared
it's
as
just
shit.
some crazed hooligan that's going to kill us. So I
Well,
don't
I
like
would
that.
hope that the locations that we go to are kind of like secure in
Mm.
terms of like, no, you know,
But
random
there's
people in there.
there's also more paranormal stuff than ghosts, and that is where you start reeling me in like a fish on the line, man.
Like
There's some
demons?
cool stuff.
Or like,
Bro, demons, cryptids, conspiracies, it's all paranormal.
I mean, yeah.
Anything that is of like potentially not of this plane or uh part of normal society, I would consider paranormal.
That's valid.
So I like there's plenty of like Bigfoot. I want to believe that Bigfoot was real. I don't think he's around anymore with the amount that humans have been just kind of destroying the planet and all of the smartphones and the amount of tourism. Like it just I want to believe that Bigfoot's still around, but someone probably killed his ass, and that makes me really sad.
Valid,
Um,
yeah.
the Loch Ness monster. There was a guy, the main researcher of the Loch Ness monster. This was a really cool story. I found out about this on one of the podcasts I listened to. Dead Rabbit Radio guys. Shout out Jason. The Loch Ness monster. The main researcher of that came out relatively recently and was like, it's not real. And the biggest piece of evidence that he brought up after trying, like, because for this whole time he was like, it's real, here's the evidence, yada, yada, yada. He finally was just like, guys, it's not real. The lake isn't big enough. There's not enough fish in there to feed it. Like, it was there was a bunch of stuff. And I was like, interesting. He went on to say, it's not to say that there wasn't a Loch Ness monster in that lake at some point, but you have to think when these cryptids were discovered, it was way before modern time. and there were much less people and much less technology and stuff. So you have to think now versus then. So does Bigfoot exist? I want to believe that, but I think it's more so, did Bigfoot exist? There was a priest that tried to exorcise the lock.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Could you imagine going like, "Stay back, demon! Stay back!" Like it is big ass creature.
That's
No.
huge. We're gonna have to look into that. That's kind of funny.
You know what I would love is I would love to bring. Hold on, let me look him up. Ian McKellen, the guy who plays Gandalf. I would love to go on a ghost hunt with him so bad. I know he's in his 80s. I don't know if he would be down, but it would be so. That's like goals. I would love for him to like do an exorcism.
I was making sure he wasn't the homophobic one. He's not. He's the gay one, actually.
Who are you thinking of?
Because I thought Gandalf was like the same actor that was in Harry Potter that played Professor Dumbledore. I could be wrong, so wrong. But I know that one of them. I mean, granted, Harry Potter. We've been new.
Well,
One of them is
Dumbledore was
homophobic.
gay.
Yeah, one of them was like one of the bigger, older actors was homophobic. I think it was Hagrid. I think Hagrid's homophobic.
No, don't say that. That'll make me really sad. I'm gonna pretend that you didn't say that. He's one of the protected. He's a protected character in my brain. Uh, it sucks. That if that's true, I'm very sad.
Is
God
he
damn it! Now I'm
homophobic?
typing Hagrid homophobic
Me,
question mark at Google.
I just did that too.
No canon evidence that he is homophobic. Uh,
um, Robbie Coltrane backs J.K. Rowling's transphobic views.
yeah, I don't like that.
Rip Hagrid, bro. Pulling out. I loved Hagrid as a character too, so that like sucks. But whatever. I mean, I liked Harry Potter too, so I mean, also that sucks. But vibes. What is this? Is this gonna play? Oh, sorry, it was an ad. My bad. Oh, it was not an ad. Actually, I lied. Oh hell yeah! This is the video. That's the exorcism of the Loch Ness monster. Oh yeah. I'll bookmark that and I'll save that for next episode and maybe we'll actually dive into that and we'll watch that video.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to.
Copy link. To kind of recoup, Lorraine, psychic. Ed, self-taught demonologist. Basically a nobody. Sorry guys. Sorry Ed. My good brother. So
Sorry.
okay. After World War II, Ed, he became a painter and he would sketch haunted houses. And then visit the owners to investigate the houses. 1952, they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research. NESPR is the acronym. And that's one of the first organized ghost hunting groups in the U.S. They began traveling the country, giving lectures at colleges and churches about demons and possession. So we did finally learn that that was true, which I think somebody said that in chat as well. So cool. Then we move on, 1960s, 1970s, building their reputation. This is kind of like the meat of what they were doing, kind of how they started up. They shifted from investigating like small haunted places to demonic cases and cases of exorcism. They worked with Catholic priests through the church, but the church never fully endorsed them, which valid. They opened the occult museum in their home in Monroe, Connecticut. I think is the abbreviation. CT, Connecticut. I want to say. But basically, that's where they stored their cursed objects that they took from the houses that were like, yeah, this is the object that's causing your demonic activity here. And so they took it and they locked it in their museum. They started collaborating with police departments on cases they believed had paranormal elements. How? No idea. Why would you talk to the police about that? Police don't believe anything. Then they became like media stars. So they were on radio shows, local TV. They gained national attention. So it was kind of, I think that's what they were all about. And I think that's where a lot of the whole controversy comes from, that they were just in it for recognition and money. So this was their peak time, 1970s and 1990s. They published books with co authors, turning investigations into best selling horror stories. Hollywood and publishers began shaping them as America's top demon hunting couple. Then their cases started inspiring films like the Amityville Horror and the whole Conjuring universe. They trained demonology students and continued touring with slideshow presentations. Final years, which was accurately depicted in the last Conjuring movie, Last Rites, I think it was called. Ed had to slow down in the late 1990s because of his health issues. He had some stuff going on with his heart, I think it was. Ed Warren died in 2006. Lorraine continued giving interviews and consulting on films until her death in 2019. So she outlived him by a bit. Their son-in-law, Tony Spera, now runs the Nesper and the occult museum that they had in their house. So now, here we are, in terms of their kind of top 3 investigations that they had. That are like kind of the most known, I guess. So the first one is the Amityville house, the Amity, blah 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 pow 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 pow, wa cha 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 cha. The Amityville house, which was done in 1976. Family claimed that there was extreme haunting after moving into a home where murders occurred. Which, if I actually, funny enough, I watched a video on this, and it was some guy that killed his whole family, shot them in the head, and also shot them in the back. Defoe
Oh,
was his name. Where's his first name? Ronald Defoe. Shot and killed 6 members of his family at their home. They lived on the South Shore of Long Island, New York. Basically, he was taken to trial. He had a bunch of different conflicting stories. I think it first started out with him trying to claim that it was a mob hit, that like the Italians came and tried to get their family. And then pretty sure he got convicted for, it was either double life, he got a double life sentence or a triple life sentence or something along those lines,
whoa.
because I mean he killed his whole fucking family, so valid. DeFeo. Okay. DeFeo. Not Defoe. Not William Defoe. My bad. DeFeo is his name. Cool. So, yeah, he got double to life or something along those lines. And I think his story changed, I think, 3 times. So it started out with the mob hit. And then he started claiming that he was possessed, was his second claim, which I think is what led the Lutz family to. And this is like, I don't have anything open anymore. I did have like the Wikipedia page open, but I don't have anything open anymore. I'm just trying to dome it. But the Lutz family moved in, and they thought, oh, the demon that possessed DeFeo is here. Oh my god. And like, of course, the murders of all his families. I thought you froze for a second. That's crazy. You just paused for waiting for a sneeze. But yeah, so the Lutz family moved in, and they're like, "Oh my god, this place is haunted because there were 6 murders in here, and the murderer was possessed." Well, bomb, bomb, bomb. Later to find out, DeFeo actually came clean about the truth and said that he was actually drunk and then decided to smoke a little bit of meth. No, not meth, heroin. He decided to do heroin and kill his family. And it was over some dispute about a car. It was something to do with like his family owned business about a car. And he either stole money from the business or something along those lines. And his dad was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And bro got drunk, did some heroin, killed his whole family. Yeehaw. So he didn't actually turn out to be possessed by a demon. So the whole Lutz family thing kind of doesn't make sense, I guess, about it being haunted. And his lawyer, funny enough, actually came clean about how him and DeFeo sat down over a bottle of wine and decided to make up the whole possessed story. I can't believe this is coming off the dome, y'all. If any of this is false, shut the fuck up, because I just popped off with all that. Okay, see, and you can tell when I open up Wikipedia, because my face lights up white. So that's what I know about the Amityville case. It was made into a bunch of movies, books, stuff like that. So, but basically later it was kind of found out that it was exaggerated for profit. As you can tell, because obviously the Lutz family wasn't being truthful, and DeFeo also wasn't being truthful because obviously he wasn't possessed. He was high on heroin and drunk. So that's the first one. Now I don't actually know that much about the other ones, but number two is the. I'm probably gonna butcher this as well. It's either the Perron or the Piron family. It's the Rhode Island farmhouse in 1971. A family reported spirits, physical attacks, and possessions. The Warrens conducted seances in the home, and this case became the basis of The Conjuring that came out in 2013. Do you want to do some research on the Perron family and tell us a little bit about that? The Perron, whatever the fuck? Perron. The Perron. Okay, yeah, so it was the Conjuring house. Okay. Are you still muted?
Yes,
That's funny.
my bad. LOL.
I just went on a
Uh,
tangent right there.
yeah, the Puron family.
Aaron,
So
we found out.
Perrin, sorry, Perrin, like Baron, League of Legends Baron, got it. Roger, Carolyn, and their five daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, holy women, gained fame for alleged decade-long paranormal experiences in their Harrisville, Rhode Island farmhouse beginning in 1971. And their experiences inspired the 2013 horror film The Conjuring, with eldest daughter Andrea documenting them in the book House of Darkness, House of Light. That's interesting. So, a story of how The Conjuring started.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, it inspired The Conjuring.
Oh, they got kicked out. That's crazy.
They showed up, did a seance, and got kicked
Got
out.
kicked out. That's crazy. I don't really remember too much about the first Conjuring. But the next one, the third one that we're gonna talk about, I do have some recollection of this one.
So Ed and Lorraine Ed and Lorraine Warren were the investigators behind the Perrin family haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I
This is
mean
crazy.
we are talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren, and
Well,
that
yeah,
was this top
but
three.
it's more stuff that they were involved with, which is really interesting to me. Anyway, so the Conjuring is basically about the Perrin family. There's a vengeful spirit, and they supposedly encountered it in Rhode Island. And January of 1971, they moved into a 14-room farmhouse. By the way, holy God, would that be expensive now? 14 room?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I mean he had a bunch of kids,
Uh,
so that's valid. To be
yeah,
fair.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's valid. You're right. Five daughters is, I would also need 14 or more rooms.
They each need their
uh,
own playroom.
yeah, yeah. So it started small, and Carolyn would notice that the broom went missing or seemed to move from place to place on its own. And she would hear like sounds of something scraping against like the kettle in the kitchen when no one was there. She'd find small piles of dirt in the center of the newly cleaned kitchen. She also began to exhibit strange behavior on her own, such as sudden fits of rage. Once Carolyn allegedly opened an orange to find it bleeding. Interesting.
Hmm.
She did not seem to be herself, appearing to be lost elsewhere in her mind. Andrea Perrin later recounted in House of Darkness, House of Light, her attention could not be diverted. There was a subtle simmering of fury present in her, and the vicious way she had attacked the orange, ripping it wide open with a vengeance, then decimating it, flailing it into the fire. First of all, that's a D1 crash out for an orange. I'm not gonna lie.
That is kind
Uh,
of crazy.
but apparently there was Carolyn allegedly researched the history of the home and discovered that it had been in the same family for like 8 generations. So like 150, 160 years, something like that.
Damn.
And maybe more. And that many of them had died under mysterious or horrible circumstances. Like several of the children drowned in a nearby creek and one was murdered,
Oh my
and a few of
god.
them hung themselves in the attic. Didn't know all that.
What an active farmhouse that was.
Yeah, Jesus. The main spirit that was depicted in the film, can you tell me its name before I butcher this?
What?
Bathsheba?
Yes. Bathsheba.
Dude, I deserve $100 for that one. Was the worst of them all, or so the family thought. It continues going. They said, whoever the spirit was, she perceived herself to be the mistress of the house and she resented the competition my mother posed for that position, said Andrea Perrin, the oldest of the five girls. So Bathsheba Sherman was the vengeful spirit who was terrorizing the family. And it also turns out that there was actually a real person named Bathsheba Sherman who lived on the Perrin property in the mid 1800s, who was rumored to have been a Satanist, and there was evidence that she had been involved in the death of a neighbor's child. Damn, there was just a bunch of murdering in the 1800s.
Yeah, I
Though
mean, free
no
for all.
real trial ever took place, and she was buried in a nearby Baptist cemetery. That's
Hmm.
nuts. However, the narrative later changed. Bathsheba Sherman, Andrea Perrin explained, had been wrongfully blamed for the family's suffering. The real ghost of the house, the revised narrative would claim, was a woman named Abigail Arnold, who was competing with Carolyn for the role of mother in the household. But there's no record of Abigail Arnold at the property. Well, then I don't think it's her.
Certainly
Why would
not.
the why would some chick named Abigail just pulled up to the farmhouse and said, "Fuck you guys"? Like, no, it was probably the lady that lived there 150 years ago. Um, but yeah, there were no records of it. There were reports of Susan Arnold, who had once lived at the property, but her death was of natural causes, not hanging, and the timeline doesn't add up with any version of the Warrens or parents or Conjuring House proprietors. It makes way more sense. Also, Bathsheba, if you're listening, and we know that you are, that's a ghost name. So like it, it is what it is. Like it had to be you. Bathsheba
She was in the
Sherman was
Bible.
the wife. Huh?
Bathsheba's a biblical
That's crazy. That's a ghost name, if I've ever heard one.
and a biblical
Uh,
one.
Andrea claims to have secretly witnessed the seance. quote, "I thought I was going to pass out," end quote, she said. My mother began to speak a language not of this world in a voice not of her own, and her chair levitated, and she was thrown across the room. See, I just don't. That's crazy to me. I, I would hate. I hate to say that I need to see it to believe it, because I think I can believe some things that I don't see, like, or can't see, because I do it all the time with like space and physics and stuff. But a whole person being or her whole chair being levitated with her in it, like, I don't know. That doesn't make
I
sense to
mean,
me.
the next one, man, I don't think you're ready for the next one.
Yeah, hit me with the next one because okay, before that, this is crazy that Ed and Lorraine. I don't like that they're the ones talking about all this, but I understand because paranormal investigators probably weren't super common. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, yeah, I
I would
mean,
have to
yeah.
go there and check it out. Yeah, but hit us with the third story.
All right. So here's the next investigation from Ed and Lorraine Warren. Number 3 on the list, and the very last one, the Enfield poltergeist in England. So this is when they went national, you guys. We're going overseas. All right. This was in 1977 to 79. This was the one you probably remember if you haven't seen or heard anything about the real story. In the movie, this is where they were kind of like the two girls were being thrown across the room, basically, and like the bed. Yeah, it was wild. Basically, the Enfield poltergeist. I love scatting, you guys. And
I'm the
the
scat
singing,
man. Sorry.
skibbity deep, bum deep, bum deep. Okay, anyways, the Enfield poltergeist was a claim of supernatural activity at 284 Green Street, a council house in Brimsdown, Enfield, London, England. That's a lot of that's a lot of cities and states and cities and states in this country. But the alleged poltergeist activity was centered on sisters Janet, aged 11, and Margaret Hogston, aged 13. Some members of the Society for Physical. Hold on, that's not physical. Psychical research. What kind of word? Okay.
Cyclical.
Sick. Psych. I don't, bro. SPR, such as paranormal investigator Maurice Gross and writer Guy Leon Playfair, believed the haunting to be genuine, while others like Anita Gregory and John Beloff were unconvinced and found evidence the girls had faked incidents for the benefit of journalists. Members of the Committee for the Scientific Investigations of Claims of the Paranormal, CSICOP, including stage magicians Milbourne Christopher and Joe Nickel, criticized paranormal investigators for being credulous, whilst also identifying elements of the case of being indicative of a hoax. So here are the claims. Okay. This is what the paranormal. Basically, there were reports of curious whistling and barking noises coming from Janet's general direction. This was kind of investigated by Maurice Gross and Guy Leon Playfair. I'm gonna say Gross and Playfair. Okay. Although Playfair maintained the paranormal activity was genuine and wrote in his later book, This House is Haunted, The True Story of a Poltergeist, 1980, that an entity was to blame for the Enfield disturbance, he often doubted the children's veracity and wondered if they were playing tricks and exaggerating. Janet was detected in trickery. A video camera in an adjoining room caught her bending spoons and attempting to bend an iron bar. Gross had observed Janet banging a broom handle on the ceiling and hiding his tape recorder. According to Playfair, one of Janet's voices, whom she called Bill, displayed a habit of suddenly changing the topic. It was a habit Janet also had. When Janet and Margaret admitted pranking to journalists, Gross and Playfair compelled the girls to retract their confessions. The two men were mocked by other researchers for being easily duped. But basically, what had happened was, in August 1977, single mother Penelope Hogsden called the Metropolitan Police to her rented home at 284 Green Street in Enfield, London, saying she had witnessed furniture moving and that two of her four children had heard knocking sounds on the walls. Basically, Janet and Margaret were kind of, tag teaming it. A police constable reported witnessing a chair wobble and slide, but could not determine the cause of the movement. Later claims included disembodied voices, loud noises, thrown toys, overturned chairs, and the children even levitating. Over a period of 18 months, more than 30 people, including the Hogsden's neighbors, paranormal investigators, and journalists, said that they variously saw heavy furniture moving of its own accord, objects being thrown across the room, and the sisters seeming to levitate several feet off the ground. Many also heard and recorded knocking noises and a gruff voice. The story was regularly covered in the Daily Mirror newspaper until reports came to an end in 1979. Basically, there were a lot of skepticisms that it was just like the two kids fucking around and kind of like pranking everybody. The two sisters involved admitted to hoaxing some of the activity. The photo of Janet levitating above her bed could be just as easily explained. Why is this worded weird? The photo of Janet levitating above her bed could just as easily be explained as Janet jumping. The spirit of an old man who supposedly possessed Janet took a great deal of interest in menstruation. Eyewitnesses are notoriously unreliable. Other schoolgirl pranks before and after have gotten out of hand. Oh my god, do you guys hear my stomach growling? That's crazy. I'm kind of hungry, I'm not gonna lie. So basically, I also read somewhere that when the Warrens actually visited to investigate, their visit was super short, and they had reported back to Playfair and was like, yeah, this could be a book.
Yeah.
And they left. Like, they didn't really do anything crazy. Which kind of leads us into their controversies. And the big main one was financial motives of their controversies. Many of the cases that they actually investigated or exercised or dealt with basically ended up. My god, I hope you guys can. If you guys can hear my stomach growling, that's insane. That's fully insane because that's loud as hell. But many cases turned into book and movie deals, with the Warrens receiving royalties, which most critics say that the stories became more dramatic after the contracts were signed. A lot of their evidence was lacking. Photos, audio, and witness accounts were very often found inconsistent, and there's no verification of their findings. The fact that the Catholic Church never officially recognized them as demonology authorities was, kind of a... There was doubts specifically about the Amityville haunting. Participants later admitted parts of their story were invented over wine with authors, which circles back to the guy that claimed he was possessed. There was a backlash over the Enfield haunting, and this circles to how it was a short visit for the Warrens. UK researchers claimed that the Warrens were in the house for only 1 day and exaggerated their role of actually like participating in the investigation or the exorcism or whatever they were doing in the house. There was a few personal scandals. After Ed's death, allegations surfaced about inappropriate relationships with a minor in the
Hmm.
1970s. So that's not, that's not good at all. And their investigation methods were questioned because they relied heavily on Lorraine's psychic impressions rather than any sort of like controlled research on the house, which could circle back to the confusion about the Perrin haunting, about how there was so much history with that house, but it was never super tied to actually being blamed on Bathsheba because she just lived there, even though it was like a that's a ghost name, but I don't know, she was just kind of chilling. But yeah, so there were a lot of things wrong with how they went about their investigations. Oh, and somebody in chat, that minor was groomed by Ed and lived with him as his girlfriend for years. I do think I remember watching a video about that. That he was a weird pedophile. So, that's kind of not a good look for them at all.
Yeah, hell no.
Yeah. So what do you think about Ed and Lorraine Warren? What do you think about them? Who they are, their investigations,
I
their evidence?
I'll be honest, I am skeptical of anything that comes after the Conjuring House.
Yeah.
I just don't. There's no. I believe that there's a level where you are like there are different people out there. Like for me, I have dreams sometimes of really small things that happen in the future. Like one time I had a dream that I like when I was in grade school that someone dropped a pencil in class, and a day or two later that exact thing that happened in my dream happened in class, and it was like reverse deja vu.
Mm.
So I believe that some people have some like interesting powers, and I don't doubt that some of this paranormal stuff happened to them and that they perceived it. But I don't think that all of it happened. I just don't believe it. Like they have seen too much, they've experienced too much. I don't believe it. But
Um,
I think they're fantastic storytellers, and I think that some of it did actually happen. And I can't I don't have good evidence to back up why I think some of it is real and some of it is made up, but I think they entered a honey hole of money and grew it out too far for me.
yeah. I
I think,
agree with what was just said in chat. I think Lorraine went along with whatever Ed wanted, and Ed saw Lorraine as a way to make money. I
yeah.
do kind of agree with that. Also, whenever I found out what Ed and Lorraine actually looked like versus like their actors in the
Yeah,
movie,
I looked up a picture.
Ed looks like the type. He's just an ugly guy. No, I'm not like. Everybody's beautiful in their own right, but I mean, Ed's a pedophile, so I can call him ugly, right? Yeah.
You can call them whatever you want.
I
Fuck
feel like I
pedophiles.
feel like
I
I
hate
can call him
pedophiles.
ugly.
They can eat shit.
Yeah, I do feel like I can call Ed ugly. Yeah, he wasn't the best looking of guy. He looked like a con man. Like con mans have a look.
He literally looks like he led the first circus.
He looks like a con man. You want to know who
Uh,
else looks like a con man? The guy who plays in is it Roseanne or is it Roxanne? The guy who plays the husband in Roxanne. He doesn't look like a con man, like I don't think he himself is a con man, but I do think that he plays con mans really good. Specifically in this like mega church show. Can't remember the name of it,
Hmm.
but he plays a really good con man. Someone in chat just said, I do think Lorraine had abilities, but she also learned how to be a showman and make it all more dramatic. I also agree. I also agree with that. Yes, John Goodman, I think is his name.
John Goodman.
What is that church show called?
Oh my God, he plays Sully, and he's also the dad in Speed Racer.
The Righteous Gemstones. That's what it is.
Everyone go watch Speed Racer, by the way. It's so off topic, but that movie is insane.
Is that about the snow?
No, that's
Oh.
uh Turbo or whatever.
Oh,
No.
okay, Speed Racer. Okay.
Yeah, Speed Racer, insane early 2000s movie. Go watch it. Tab, we don't have too much more time, but we have enough time to do a thing that I have crafted.
You
I
crafted
didn't
a
tell you
thing.
about this.
I'm surprised.
So we're gonna make some shorts out of this,
Oh, okay.
which I'm very excited about. Um, I'm calling it lore or lie.
Lore or lie? Okay, interesting.
So it's time for lore or lie. I'm gonna read you something.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna tell me if this is some ancient legend or conspiracy theory that actually exists, or if it's complete bullshit. All right.
Okay.
So I'll give you like a short like description of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna tell me if you think that it's real or made up.
All right. Everybody, get ready for lore or lie.
First contestant up is Tab. Everyone, give a big, warm welcome, Tab.
Yeah, happy to
Number
be
one.
here.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I wish I had a microphone. So we're gonna play lore or lie, where I'm going to give you something that may be real or it may be complete and utter bullshit, and you have to tell me which you think it is. Are you ready?
I guess so. What?
We're gonna start off real easy. All right, Mothman, a winged humanoid with glowing red eyes, reported in 1960s West Virginia, who is often linked to disasters and bridge collapses.
Lore.
That is correct. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right. How about the Appalachian smoke stalker, a shadowy humanoid said to appear in coal towns during heavy fog, following miners before dissolving into smoke.
Lie.
It is a lie. That I can't.
I know my lore. Watch, I'm gonna get the next one wrong.
Uh, the Ohio grass giant, a towering humanoid rumored to camouflage itself perfectly in tall grass and cornfields, remaining unseen until it moves.
Lie.
It is that is a lie. Oh my god, Tab, you know your stuff. Let me tell you.
I'm a genius. At heart.
Uh, the Pine Barren Lantern Man, a mysterious figure is said to wander forests at night, carrying a glowing light that lures travelers off trail.
Lie.
That is a lie. Oh my gosh.
Yo!
Okay, okay. Let me. I have a bunch of these, so we're just gonna keep going.
You gotta make this shit harder.
Dude, they are hard. I think they're hard. I would have thought some of these are real. All right. The Red River Skinwalker, a shape-shifting entity allegedly encountered near riverbanks, capable of mimicking animals and humans. Now you're just thinking too hard. You can ask questions, by the way.
Oh, okay. Where's the Red River?
Georgia, I think. Well, hold on. I wasn't prepared for that question. Wait, no, shut the. Okay, Georgia.
Georgia, lie.
It is true. No, I'm just kidding. It is a lie.
I was like, what?
Okay. Man, Tab, you're on fire.
I'm on a hot streak.
Um, the Ohio signal interruption experiment, a supposed Cold War era test involving brief, unexplained radio and TV blackouts across parts of Ohio.
Is this localized? Or
It
is
is
this with
localized.
the mass um, interruptions? Because there was actually, this is true, there was a mass thing. There was a mass local, like a mass blackout that caused interruptions over
Hmm.
TVs.
This specifically was localized.
Localized?
You only get one question.
Oh, okay. All right. Damn.
Well, it's because I sometimes won't know the answer. I didn't think about this. I don't have a full synopsis. All right,
Okay. I'm gonna go lie again.
it's a lie. I can't believe it. What is the point of playing this damn game?
You gotta
That's
give me a true
crazy,
one somewhere. Like,
dude. Okay.
I've had one true
These are
one, and it was the easiest one
I
of all of them.
yeah. Well, okay. All right. The marble horned howler, a massive horned beast rumored to roam abandoned quarry, boo, quarry lands, its roars echoing like grinding stone.
In what location is this found? Locations.
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
It is a lie. Detroit, Michigan probably doesn't have any quarries. It's by a fucking lake, I think.
My intuition's kicked in high gear right now. Like these
Yeah,
are
it sure
coming.
is.
These answers are popping off the dome.
Oh man, the Appalachian smoke stalker.
We
Later
heard that one
version.
already. That one was a
Oh yeah,
lie.
sorry. Yep. Sorry. Okay.
Also, chat's roasting your shit right now.
What? What are they
You
saying?
can ask questions, but I don't know the answers. Geek's the kind of person to change the rules in
No,
the middle of the
I wouldn't
game.
change. No. I would not do. I like rules. All right, I like rules. If I set rules, those are the rules. All right.
You can
I
ask questions. Actually, you only get one question.
well, okay. That's questions. You get one question per
Okay.
thing. It's
Okay.
fair. Okay.
Next.
How about the Kentucky meat shower suppression? The claim that authorities covered up the true cause of mysterious meat fall in the 1800s.
Did it rain meat anywhere else in the United States?
I don't have that written down.
Okay, wait, hold
Did
on.
it?
I can ask another question. Okay.
Okay.
Was the cover up the fact that it came off of an airplane?
Yes, by the way, there were multiple meat showers.
Okay. I don't like this one because I know that there is a story about it that was true, and the cover up was that it came off of an airplane. Oh, cover up. I think it actually probably did come off of an airplane. I'm gonna go with lie.
It is true.
Okay.
On March 3rd, 1876, they chunks of what appeared to be red meat fell from the sky.
What was the cover up? Like, what was the reason that they said?
Um, it was I didn't think you were gonna ask me. It's they said that vultures, which frequently gorge on food and vomit when startled or needing to fly quickly, deposited the flesh.
Okay. Interesting.
Uh, yeah.
My first one wrong. I overthought it.
And then we'll round it out with the Fresno Nightcrawler, a strange leg only creature captured on security footage in California, moving with an unnatural gait,
Gate? Okay, yeah.
which is apparently a person's manner of walking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a
You can tell
brain
a
shutdown.
lot about a person by their gait. That's how you think I'm joking, but like you think I'm just like popping off with like oh gate. No, I watched a video about uh investigators, like private investigators or whatever that investigate like, try to find murders and shit. And one of their main things is like investigating somebody's gait. Also, doctors investigate gaits because certain gaits can indicate certain illnesses.
Mm. Hmm.
The Fresno Nightcrawler, true.
The Fresno Nightcrawler is true. Tab, you absolutely destroyed me. You are
I got one wrong.
the world champion of conspiracy theories and cryptids. Let me tell you, that was very very amazing, actually.
This is my subject. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a fun time. The millennial pause. I think that was a lot of fun. Cool. Guys, I think that it about does it for us.
That's it. That's all, folks. I guess I'll take us out.
That's all, folks.
I'll take us out. I'll take us out. Okay. So.
Wait, I have announcements.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, so before we end, we are starting to put things together to do some IRL content. Um, this costs money. All right. So I have been grinding a lot at work so we can get some of this stuff that we want to do. But if you guys want to help us out, even if it is not financially, share the podcast with somebody who doesn't know us or that you haven't talked about the podcast with, because that will help it grow. We are going to be starting the Patreon back up by the end of this month. Um, I have been doing a lot of thinking on what we're going to put on there, and I feel like I have just literally just been at work, so I haven't done anything basically. So I'm kicking my booty into gear. So yeah, just if you can't support the podcast financially, that's okay. Just share it around with friends and family, and maybe your pets. Maybe your pets want a little entertainment. That's all I got.
I don't think my cats would watch. I'll be real.
No, they're kind of dickheads.
They are kind of dickheads. I love them though. Those are my children. My little babies.
Them babies.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching slash listening to Midnight Oil. I am one of your co-hosts, Tab. This has been Keeg. Has been. Was. We were. We existed at some point in
Am.
time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, watching, being here, hanging out with us. You can find us on all of our socials at either Midnight Oil or Midnight Oil Entertainment. You can find Keeg at the ___ Keeg, Keeg. Make sure there's 3 underscores between the and Keeg.
Though
Trust
I
and
am
believe.
popping up if you just type in the Keeg.
Heck yeah, that's cool. And you can find me usually under the username of TabWTF. That's TABWTF. And yeah, submit your stories. We got a link on pretty much everywhere. We're gonna put our email in our bios too for business inquiries, probably, because we need to do that just in case people want to reach out and sponsor us. Alani. But yeah, cool guys. We will see you in the next episode, and that is that's all, folks. Sorry, copyright. See ya. Bye. Good night.
Good night.